Okay, so I am at Walmart running a few errands, and I figured I'd hit the craft section. They've kind of rearranged everything. It's nice to see that the sewing section has kind of come back. It has a few different things. They're already getting ready for Christmas, and they've restocked their fabric. It was all picked over for a while because people were buying it up to sew masks. Actually, it looks like they've added more to the sewing section than they had before. And I can't show everything because people are shopping, but here's some of the art kits. And oh wow, they've moved the office supplies to the outside. Boy, it's like a whole different Walmart. Now, this is one of my favorite aisles, the pens and pencils aisle. So you've got your Mildliners in different packs, but you've also got your Sarasa gel pens. Those are fun. I got those in a Zim Pop, and I thought they were pretty dang good. And they come in fun colors. And lots of different mechanical pencils, as well as microns and calligraphy pens, your Tri-Plus, your twin tips. And your gel pens. And down here is a lot of the Cricut stuff. Actually, they've added a bunch more, including their own brand stuff. And I guess the art supplies now live with the Cricut stuff, or at least half the art supplies, like mini canvases, workable fixative, sketchbooks. And I know a lot of people do their Christmas shopping at Walmart, so I kind of want to quickly talk about some of the things I think would make good Christmas presents this year for maybe younger artists. So me personally, I'm not a fan of the hardcover sketchbooks. I find them kind of unwieldy, but hardcover spiral bound sketchbooks, you can flip that cover around so they're a little bit easier to use. And by flipping the cover around, you end up with a hard surface on the back as well. So the Simply Watercolor, I've reviewed these in the past, as well as the Daler Rowney Watercolor. Don't like either of those, can't really recommend either of those. However, I've reviewed a similar little fan palette to this one here on the channel, and it's not half bad. So if you were going to get watercolor supplies for a budding artist here at Walmart, I would recommend getting this. And maybe one of these, and maybe one of those. And then if we were talking about watercolor paper, down here they have Canson XL Watercolor Paper, and those of you who watch the channel have seen me use this pretty frequently actually. Canson makes good art papers. Their black drawing paper is fun, but it's not suitable for wet media because the dye will reactivate. And their mixed media sketchbooks are actually great all-rounder sketchbooks. They can take watercolor, they can take marker, and they can take pencil color and dry media. Oh, look y'all, they have some alcohol markers, which y'all know what that means. I guess I gotta take a look at them and tell you guys what I think. Now, some of these are things I haven't tried yet. The leisure art stuff I haven't tried. I'm not actually super hot on Prismacolor personally. So for an artist who enjoys drawing, I would recommend the Faber Castell sets. Faber Castell is known for their quality, and it's the gold Faber line, so it's like their student quality line, which isn't bad, over the Daler Rowney set. And then out of these, gee, I would say skip the willow charcoal unless you know they're going to use it because it's very messy. Skip the sketching pencils. The Prismacolor inking tools aren't bad though. I've tried those in the past. And then of the color pencils here, I once did a head-to-head comparison comparing Crayola and Prismacolor, and frankly Crayola's not half bad, y'all. So I mean, I know that's not what most teenagers want to get for Christmas, But you can tell him that, as Soup said, that compared to where Prismacolor is these days, they're better off with their Crayola, and that you spent the money on something they're going to enjoy a lot more. Now over here we have our inexpensive acrylic paints, the apple barrel paints, as well as our glues and fixatives. Now apple barrel paint is technically an acrylic paint, but it's not an acrylic paint the way you would think of acrylic paints in terms of like artistic acrylic paints. It's much thinner. It's not bad, but it's a craft paint. So it's not going to handle the way a professional watercolor, or even not a professional watercolor, a professional acrylic would. But for younger artists under supervision, it can be a great way to permanently paint some surfaces like birdhouses or even wooden boxes. And then over here we have the duct tapes and the glitters. Aha, the Crayola and kit aisle is finally empty. So we have a bunch of kits, but these are like very much obviously aimed at much younger creators. Nothing necessarily for teens or adults to kind of play around with. Loads of slime kits that take up so much space. And gosh, these kits look pretty much the same as the kits from last year, so not seeing anything super new. And I'm also not seeing just like the regular Crayola section. It's kind of missing. Okay, so I am not seeing the 100 pack of super tips that I love so much and I love to recommend, which is a shame. But if you do see the 100 pack of super tips, that's actually pretty decent art supply there, and there's a lot of different ways you can use those. They do have the 100 pack of color pencils. And normally I would say more colors is not more better, but again, compared to the very waxy, very prone to breaking Prismacolors on the other aisle, where you're going to end up killing your whole pencil by sharpening it to death because it's constantly breaking on you, here at Walmart, the Crayolas are going to make you happier. And then we have some run-of-the-mill sketchbooks. I have a few different ones. Personally, I would recommend staying away from the sketch pads, and I would go for spiral bound sketchbooks because that's going to keep your sketches all together. Now, if you do prefer working in sketch pads, or if you want to buy like a ream of printer paper, I would recommend keeping those organized in a folder or in a binder so you don't lose them. And then finally we have some of the miscellaneous art and sketching things. The tiny kits. Those tiny pencils are going to be so difficult on the hand, but dang if they're not cute. As well as other sketch pads and some canvases and some washable tempera paint. So the difference between tempera and acrylic, at least for our purposes here, real tempera uses egg, but tempera like this is more like a very thin wash, and it's, whoo boy, it reeks. Or I guess it's like a poster paint. It's thinner, it's runnier, it stinks, and it's supposed to be easier to clean up, although some of those neons are going to be staining. Okay guys, so that was just a little exploration of what one smaller Walmart in a smaller town might have to offer for Christmas. If you guys found this helpful, useful, and informative, let me know in the comments below. And if you need any help buying artsy Christmas presents for someone you love, don't hesitate to reach out to me either through my Discord server, the Paintbox, or you can email me at becca.hilburn@gmail.com. Have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.